There has been more than enough debate over Minecraft this week in the run-up to Minecon Live, the new update, all the big announcements for current Minecraft titles, and even a big mob vote. Now, the previous Minecon votes have been, well, polarizing, to say the least. And while the Biome vote of 2019 was a bit of a no-brainer, the mob vote before that did cause quite a stir, especially after the fact, when players began to find phantoms more tedious and annoying than they had ever predicted. This is something to take note of, and clearly people did, because when a surprise Minecon Live was announced this year and a new set of mobs were put on the line, the first question wasn't what looks cool, but rather what would each bring to the game? What are their properties? How will they enhance the gameplay experience? And how will players be left feeling once the hype of a new mob dies down? So with the Glow Squid now successfully chosen, let's talk about why it was the most popular vote, and why Goliath-sized creators like AntVenom and Dream disagree on its properties and usefulness. Would the Iceologer or Chillager have been the right choice? Let's take a look. Welcome back to Quebec Corner. My name is Connor, and today on this week's Development Circle, we cover the Minecraft 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update, but more specifically, the Glow Squid. We're going to use AntVenom and Dream's heavy-handed Twitter debate to get to the bottom of just how beneficial the mob will be to the game, whilst taking a look at Glow Squid type mobs from other titles, and we'll even discuss why the other mobs weren't chosen. What was wrong with those guys, after all?
This video is sponsored by ServerPro. ServerPro has everything you need to host the next big Hytale server. With support for modding and scripting, why not start your adventure today and grab a free Minecraft server which you can swap over once Hytale is launched.
I mean, we've all been fans of Minecraft for a long time, and so many of us are of course going to come equipped with passionate opinions when changes are brought up. But this is the first time I've really seen pretty much everyone in the community have their say, and that's funny to me. Not only did Mojang announce the biggest update to the game potentially ever, but they also sparked huge discussions over the simplest of creature additions ever made. It was between a bee-loving buttercup-sprouting bovine, a luminescent squid hypnotist from the depths of the ocean, and an isolated ice wizard from the mountain tops. And despite it sounding like a fairly inconsequential decision, with a world of players hyper-focused on speedrunning and competitiveness, every small detail can make a huge impact. Players are clearly still passionate about this game, and the tournament generation we live in cares a lot about new mob functionality and how it will affect gameplay going forward. Which is, number one, actually a really good thing to have your players think about, providing hard feedback and actively considering design implications, and two, bound to create some discourse or conflict, even if the mobs are simplistic in nature. Minecraft is an old game now. It's had lots of updates, new blocks, new items, and new functions, and so when Mojang makes a change, they really need to be careful. Yes, in theory they could add hundreds of new mobs per year just like modders do, but then Minecraft wouldn't feel like Minecraft anymore. It would be unbalanced and feel unnatural. I think a big part of minimal Minecraft updates is about users getting comfortable with new additions as and when they come. It's not like a whole new game all at once, but when you add up the smaller snapshot additions and read a full changelog for updates, you can see that the game has never really stopped growing, and works well to make people feel like they themselves are growing with the game. Sure, to some it seems like a snail's pace, but if they were to start pumping out huge content updates, people would expect the next one, and then the next one. Soon, Tekkit, RLCraft, and the entirety of Mo Creatures would be in the game. And would that really feel like vanilla anymore? I'll be honest, I was the first to berate Minecraft for the underwhelming options this year, but considering how critically the Phantom was taken and how game-changing some of those proposed mobs were in 2018, like the enchantment-eating Great Hunger, I think this year Mojang felt like they needed to take a step back into the inconsequential. Other than huge mods that were eventually implemented due to popular demand, Minecraft has always tried to play it safe, with each feature being executed in a unique, stylized way that is almost unpredictable at times. If the amount of anguish alone over adding one mob this past week has been anything to go by, it's kind of a good thing that the community didn't have that much more control over changes than just this one creature, if I'm honest. We have the feedback and suggestions area of the site which is always active, and the team are constantly looking for the most successful ideas, so we can at least have our say there to make our choice heard when this single yearly vote isn't around. It's not the biggest deal. However, a lot of people seem to think otherwise, because this time came some heavy-handed debate. More so than there has ever really been over any other mob addition to Minecraft so far, and I really want to know why. The Moobloom, Glow Squid, and Iceologer all have their, benefits, I guess you could call them, but only one made sense in the mind of Antvenom, a long-time veteran Minecraft creator, the Iceologer, while a totally different one made the most sense to a competitive speedrunner and front-running Minecraft creator known as Dream, the Glow Squid. From the moment Minecraft Live started, creators began tweeting about their favourite mob, and not just that, but some were telling their followers what to vote for too. And that's fine, it's a free world. If creators choose to use their power in that way, that's on them, but they're still human, they're still entitled to an opinion. Their fans are just as much a part of the Minecraft community as you or I. Looking at the mobs and their cons and pros, moo blooms can be sheared for flowers and attract bees, but other than that they don't add too much functionality to the game. Glow squids feel a little underwhelming due to the fact that we had a big aquatic update a few years ago, but the animatory segment for them did involve a little bit of extra polish. The characters were wearing scuba goggles, there was a distraction or hypnotizing mechanic showcased, and even a submarine, but Mojang have since confirmed that none of these things will actually be part of the mob's behaviour. It was all just for show, although the squid is said to be quite a natural beauty. The only hostile mob for this vote, the Chillager, was a new mob for the mountains, and as caves and cliffs alike were being updated, I personally felt like this was a smart choice. The mountains lack a lot of content, and new snow and goats being added in 1.17, the Icy Pillager would have helped package the update a bit better. However, as many have argued, it also had the potential to be really annoying. Combined with the goat that knocks you off the mountain, plus the already harsh terrain, perhaps this was too hard of a challenge for the Minecraft community to stomach. This mob does make more sense than Minecraft Earth's tame moo bloom, however, and the ice magic mechanic has even been transferred over from Minecraft Dungeons, which is super cool to see. With an insane amount of Twitter hype, the first vote started off strong, removing moo blooms from the process, and rightfully so, but it was a neck-and-neck tie between Glow Squid and Iceologer going forward, so debates began to get heavy. The likes of big creators were chiming in to thank the community for not voting the moo bloom, whilst others were shouting about how Team Iceologer totally had this. Jordan, aka Captain Sparkles, was particularly vocal, describing the benefits of the Chillager and how they outweighed those of other mobs. Retextured squid was a phrase being thrown around quite often, and as the second vote approached, people began to notice that Dream was tweeting an awful lot in relation to the mob vote. Glow Squid spam, offers to follow those who voted Glow Squid, replying to other big creators and mentioning it. Honestly, it was quite the sight to see. For some context, Dream is one of the fastest growing channels on YouTube this year, with 10 million subscribers, a high activity rate, and a much younger demographic. His comments and opinions are very socially relevant right now, at least to a large portion of the Minecraft YouTube viewer base. He's not been well known for much longer than a year though, while those players pushing for an Iceologer are 10-year vets of the game, one of which is Antvenom, who we actually interviewed for the entire history of Minecraft on YouTube documentary, which you can check out here. So let's see how their opinions stacked up. Why did the oldest want the Chillager, and why did the newbies want the Glow Squid? XQC for some reason wanted the Iceologer, Mr. Beast wanted the Glow Squid, and as the vote was starting to tilt in the Glow Squid's favour, Taylor chimed in with a description from the official website, claiming that the squid will glow the same way as an Enderman's eyes do, as in it will appear visible in dark spaces but will not actually emit light onto other blocks or cause lighting updates. Dream replied saying that it says it literally glows, with Taylor elaborating that while Enderman eyes appear to glow, it's actually a false illusion. They don't emit any light, but are visible in the dark. Dream was persistent in the fact that it does in fact definitely glow, just very vaguely. The wildfire continued as Antvenom posted a poll, and then even a screenshot of a filtered image of the mob that showcased no inherent light emission. The creators then went to IRL Science to debate what a glow actually is, referring to glow sticks and glow-in-the-dark t-shirts as examples for their cases of whether glowing is an actual emission of light. Thing is, this is a game, so Minecraft can kinda just create its own logic. Allow me to explain. Light source blocks in Minecraft have levels of emission that can be increased or reduced artificially. The Enderman eyes do in fact create a visual glow, they appear brighter and more visible in dark areas, but they do not actually produce lighting updates around them. This is where we discuss two things that you may know if you've been looking into Hytale: bloom and dynamic lighting. Well, I say we discuss it, but people have been occasionally discussing the Enderman glowing eye effect for years. Take this 4-year-old Reddit thread for example. There's a lot of insight into what people thought back then. Bloom is the additional lighting effect applied to textures to make them appear as though they are emitting light, but don't technically update any blocks or entities around them. Dynamic lighting, however, will allow for this though. Imagine if a torch was lighting up the walls as you run through a cave, kinda like Hytale. The torch itself could have a bloom effect and appear to produce light but not actually light up the cave. or it can work with dynamic lighting, and underlying systems help create updates in the shadows and angles that allow for the blocks to be lit up as the player moves along and the game simulates the torch actually emitting light. The thing is, there's no real-time lighting updates in Minecraft, so to speak, not without ray tracing. So to imagine that there will be an updated glowing squid that can move around and light up areas as it goes seems rather unrealistic, especially to veteran Minecraft players. And so what, maybe the squid doesn't necessarily emit light, but it's a glow squid, so for the lulz, let's just say it glows. Just kinda not. You can see it, it just doesn't light things up. And for the record, I'm sure Mojang can plan some additional functionality to maybe fix that. For example, for another feature of the update, PikaClick suggested a way to keep copper from rusting, as it may be annoying to some players, and I tweeted that the glow squid's ink could maybe be used as a grease to help seal and prevent the colour change. People feared that the Iceologer would be just another Illager, and the idea of ice magic, while cool, may have been a pain to deal with when combined with the newly showcased mountain goats that can ram you off the edge of cliffs. Fair play. But a lot of people seem to be backing the Iceologer before the glow squid won, so what happened there? We can't forget that the Moobloom voters, who unfortunately were miserably defeated on the first round, then had a choice to make. Anyone voting for the Moobloom probably prefers a passive or neutral mob rather than a hostile enemy. And with the Moobloom being so, well, pretty, voters of that mob probably preferred atmosphere over gameplay quality, and so their next best choice was the glow squid. And even with all of that, it was still pretty close for a while until the glow squid began to finally pull away and attain victory. Part in thanks, no doubt, to the likes of many big creators, not just Dream and MrBeast, the glow squid was victorious. But what do you guys think? I saw plenty of angry tweets about the idea that now public figures control the vote. Honestly, I think that's a much bigger discussion that not only dwarfs the scope of Minecraft mob choices, but even YouTube and social media itself. It's a very broad debate to have. What do you guys think? Do you mind that YouTubers could potentially help sway the votes? Let's say at best, out of the average 70,000 people liking Dream's tweet, 80% voted glow squid. There were still over 700,000 votes, so Dream only affected a tenth of those. Was that enough to sway the votes? Well, pretty much, yes. The difference was about 5%, and we have to assume that at least half of Dream's influenced voters were already going to vote for the squid anyway. So a 35,000 vote addition, or 2.5% to the Iceologer, would have put them more or less neck and neck. Still very even. It's a big push to say that Dream solely swayed the vote, still a lot of people were angry and needed someone to blame, and they jumped to target Dream, who came out recently and rightfully so defended the fact that his fans have a right to vote and are just as part of the Minecraft community as him or I. At the very end of the day, I didn't really care what mob would be added, as they'll probably all be added anyway, and there was a lot of amazing features, so it's just a bonus. I just thought going crazy for a squid in Minecraft would be funny, and to me, it was. I didn't mean to ruin the community vote or anything, and I don't think I did. Even though I tweeted a lot and have a large following, tons of other creators made streams and videos and tweets, and mine were only during the 15-minute vote. All in all, it's just a single mob in a gigantic update, and knowing Mojang, they will probably make it really cool. I partly agree with Dream, but to be honest, he's a very smart man and he does understand the power he holds in this community, especially after the recent months where he's been seeing huge amounts of viewers live. Even if he did not control the outcome of the vote, in hindsight it was kind of immature of him to go spamming hundreds of tweets during the live event. If he had have only tweeted once, I'm sure a lot of people could have dealt with that, but it was the fact that he repeatedly did it, offered follows, and was somewhat gloating about the other mobs that ended up leaving a sour taste in everyone's mouths. His own passion and the way he worded the tweets made it seem like he cared about the mob vote. It made it seem like it was important to him, and all of his young fans would have assumed it was too. So I think he is in part to blame here, although I think Mojang adding any mob to the game is great. They'll do it justice no matter what. Some people were quick to reply, "I have lost total respect for you, using fame and influence to get the vote to your liking, which makes it unfair for everyone. Nice one, Dream." Thanks for ruining this update. Also, I don't think it's fair for creators to tweet because now you choose the new mob and not the community. Even Taylor was somewhat angry with how Dream swayed the votes. Dream replied to Ant's vote about the glow squid glowing, saying, "Do you need me to link you the poll that actually matters?" And Taylor replied, "You can link me the poll where hundreds of thousands of people were duped into voting for a glowing mob that doesn't glow. Shots fired." Admittedly, as harsh as all of this sounds, Taylor later clarified on Twitter that it's all fun and games. Although the same thing could have happened if the Iceologer had have won the vote, Ant Venom decided to accept the result, as we all had to. I'm over it, and if the Phantom was anything to go by, Mojang would have scuffed the implementation of this mob, in reference to the Iceologer. The mob itself felt kinda random, but the most potentially fun in his opinion. Let's be honest though, we have 3 cows, 3 villager types, but only 1 squid. It needs some balance. One user wrote, "No, I'm not really mad that he has a huge follower base, but the fact that he tried to bargain to vote by saying I will follow you if you show me that you vote Glow Squid and then didn't actually follow through." And Venom replied, "It was a joke at best and irresponsible at worst. He knows he doesn't have to bargain to get votes. He can just say vote for that and knows he'd push 100,000 votes, which is what he did." As creators were jumping on both sides of the argument, I wanted to include Schlatt's funny little reply saying that the mob doesn't actually glow. Dream is convinced they will add all 3 mobs anyway, but what do you guys think? All 3 of these creatures existed in the wider Minecraft metaverse beforehand through Dungeons or the Earth app. Also, Mojang are not one to push for more features to be added rather than less. Everyone expected the other mobs from the first ever mob vote to eventually get added, including the other biomes from the biome vote too, but with how long it's taken to finally get to Cliffs, I doubt we'll be seeing the Moobloom or Iceologer for a long while. Maybe in the end, the Glow Squid was the perfect choice. I'll have to admit, I wavered on the Glow Squid and Iceologer before settling on the Ice Wizard, but as Minecon Live continued, and as more cave updates began to feature, I realized it's likely I won't spend that much time above ground in 1.17, let alone on the peaks of mountains. No, I'll be in the deep dark new biomes, the bright lush caves. I'll be adventuring and exploring, and that gives me memories of doing the exact same thing in Terraria, needing that one extra bit of light in a cave only for a glowing jellyfish to appear. But the question still remains, will Minecraft Squid glow? Will this mob vote, the debates, and all the controversy around it affect what Mojang do this coming summer update? We'll simply have to wait and see. And yes, I did just make an entire video discussing the mob vote. Honestly, I find it a very culturally interesting event. All the aspects and factors that go into and come from a community-made design decision are pretty exciting to explore, and we're not stopping there, because 1.17's Cave and Cliffs is going to be the biggest update to Minecraft so far. It's going to change the game, and in next week's video, I'm going to explain exactly why, so make sure to look out for that one. If you don't know about Hytale, then where have you been? If you're interested in Minecraft updates, then Hytale will certainly be up your alley, especially considering a lot of the stuff being added in 1.17 has already been showcased in Hytale. Block game competition, my friends, that's what we call that. But for now, we're still waiting for Hytale's release, so for updates, gameplay footage, and even theory videos, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And if you really want to, you can like this video. It helps a lot. Want more? Okay, fine, you can jump into a Discord to chat even more about Hytale with thousands of enthusiasts such as yourself. Just click the link in the description. Thank you again for liking, subscribing, and thanks, as always, for watching Quebec Corner. Stay safe and keep free.